All right, we are recording. It is Tuesday, February 17th, time for our monthly FA meeting. And today I wanted to do an update on AI. There's been a lot in the news lately about AI, no doubt. I think the recent thing that kind of kicked everything off was the Claude coding enhancements that came, and you probably have heard the term vibe coding. Now the ability now to actually create apps, to create things that where you don't even have to know how to code anymore. I'm speaking very generally here, but that's kicked some things off, and as you know, no surprise, these AI languages just keep improving more and more and more. An article came out, I think, a couple of weeks ago about this. I don't remember the guy's name that wrote it. I can share with the article, but I know it's created a lot of emotions because, you know, essentially the article was kind of like, you know, humans are done, the computers won, AI's taken over, and, you know, if you've got a job in the knowledge-based industry, well, you know, thanks for playing. Then there was a rebuttal that came out to that, a really good saying, hey, that, you know, we're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. And I can share you links to both those articles, but I know it has created a lot of conversation and it's created a lot of emotion. And quite honestly, a lot of that emotion can be fear of what is this, you know, things are changing so rapidly and things are changing so fast. What is this going to look like for us, especially with what we do? And I'm going to give you my 2 cents on this. And that is simply that I don't believe that AI ever replaces the financial advisor. At the end of the day, you've been doing this long enough now to understand that when it comes to people's money, their emotions get involved, and no computer bot is going to be able to help them manage and make wise decisions through whatever emotional thing, that there's going to need to be some human interaction, some empathy, some sympathy, some connection there. And so I don't believe, and if someone told me I had to place $1 million bet today, I'd go all in that we are here to stay. Now, what I do believe is I think AI is massively, massively going to help us be able to do a lot more. And so where I think a lot of the media, because again, we read things in the media, it doesn't matter whether it's investments or AI, we read a lot of things in the media and they want to sell fear because they know that this equation works. If I can create fear, I'll get more eyeballs and I'll get more clicks. We see it on the investment side all the time, and there's no surprise that we're seeing it here in the AI world. I would ask that you adjust that, and instead of it being a fear thing, we really look at it as urgency. Urgency in that we need to learn how to use these tools. It's not, I believe we're at a place now where it's not an issue of, oh, you know, that'd be nice, I'll get to it someday. We're at a place today where we need to learn how to use these tools and use them effectively for what we're doing, because they will help us tremendously in the things that we do with our clients. We give advice, we educate, we help our clients stay on track. We create content, we create things to share with them that are relevant to what they're going through. We help solve their pain points, and AI can help us tremendously do this. All right. So I want to show you a tool today that is actually free. Its basic tool is free, and there's some paid things there. But what it will help us do is educate our clients in. I mean, if you think about it, we get a lot of clients that just aren't financially sound. I recently had a prospect that didn't even understand, and this is a business owner, very successful person, and they did not understand even how like a bond worked. Like when I said, you know, when I was talking about fixed income and bonds and things like that, you know, it's like, I don't even know what that means. So there's a lot of education that we do. All right. And I'm going to share my screen and show you this tool here. And I think I can just share my window. Make sure I've got the right one here. All right. It looks like I'm sharing my screen. Oh, shoot. Hold on. I forgot to do something. Hold on. Let me do this one more time because I'm going to play a video in this and you all need to hear the sound. So include sound, window. Excellent. All right. So the tool is called NotebookLM. Just, I don't know if we can put it in a chat or something or how this works, but has anybody used NotebookLM out there already? Anyone use this tool at all? Okay. It's a free tool. If you have a Gmail account, they have a free account that you can use here. This is an amazing tool to educate folks and on different topics. Okay, so let me start here. From Merrimack, a couple weeks ago, Kevin Dick sent out a message on the FA chat and said, "Hey, you know, does anyone know where there's a really good guide that just can help educate folks that, you know, are named executors?" I learned yesterday that in some states they're called executors. Here in South Carolina, I think they're called personal representatives or something like that. But, you know, whoever helps execute the will, just some type of roadmap or guide to do that. And there was no response to him. I did reach back. I said, "Hey, I think I'm going to use this as an example on our next call just to show like how we can create something like this. Very simple and easy." Okay. So when you go into LM, and NotebookLM is really designed to learn things. It was designed as for students that, let's say there's a topic that you want to learn about. Well, you can search for sources. So on the left here, you have sources. You can either search for sources or you can actually add sources. You can add your own sources to this and say, use these sources. All right. Then you have a chat box where you can start chatting in here with it and saying, okay, help me understand this, help me understand that, this and that. And it'll start creating for you in here, just like you're dealing with ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or whatever here. But the really cool thing, LM has a built-in studio where you can create infographics, you can create a slide deck, you can create video overviews. Audio overviews is probably one of the sources. They will actually take whatever content you have and they'll turn it into a podcast where someone's interviewing somebody. And you can download that and then just listen to it when you're exercising to learn whatever that is that you're talking about. Okay. But here's the beauty where we can use this. We can actually use this to educate our clients on topics. Okay. So I went in here and I typed in, so search the web for news sources. There's fast research and deep research. I think for this, I just use fast, but if you get in deep research, it's going to really find a lot of sources for you and do a lot of deep research. I will tell you that NotebookLM takes time. Like when I was creating some of these things, I just had to set my computer down and go do something else and then come back to it or go work on something else as it was creating some of these things. So in this case, I literally copy and pasted Kevin's question in here. And I just said, you know, find me sources. It found me 50 something sources on probate and estates and all kinds of things like that. Okay. Now, what you would want to do next is you'd want to come in here and just look at these because you can select what sources you want to use. Because let's be honest, there is a lot of noise and a lot of a lot of stuff on the internet that's just not that great. So you come in here and you probably uncheck some boxes like maybe you don't really care about Michigan's process or, you know, whatever. I just went ahead, or Arizona small estate administration law. You probably don't care about that. You don't check it. For this purpose, I just kept everything checked. Okay. So I actually had some interaction with this. I don't know why it's not showing in here, but I did have some interaction with this. So then I went over here and I said, okay, let's just start with I don't know, let's create an infographic. So I click on here, and if you click on, when you create an infographic, if you click on the pen or pencil here, it'll give you some options. You can click level of detail. You can say, I want concise, standard. I want really detailed. You can choose I choose a landscape orientation. Then you can even, you know, give it some style, color, or, you know, whatever, highlight just these things, or you can actually give it some more instructions. And then I click generate. All right. I didn't do that. I just literally used the standard, and this is what it showed. This is what it came up with. So the executor's roadmap, navigating the probate process, step by step, secure the assets, order 10 death certificates, inventory and appraise your property, critical pitfalls to avoid, simplified probate. I don't know why it got caught on this Arizona, Michigan, Massachusetts thing, probably because it's pulling from those sources. You know, if I was refining this, I would probably uncheck all that stuff, say, no, let's just focus on this, that, or whatever. Okay, great. Then I said, well, I wonder what a video overview would look like. So when you click on video overview, you can do an in-depth explainer. You can do something brief. You've got different styles that you can use. I love the whiteboard style because I just think it's clear. And I don't know what kawaii, anime, watercolor, retro print, heritage, papercraft is. They'd be fun to try. I didn't do that. And then again, you can literally say, what should the AI hosts focus on? And, you know, be very, look, I just want to cover these three things. I think I said, you know, what do the first 30 days look like for a thing? So I'm going to play this for you. Hopefully, make sure your volume's up and let me know if you guys can. Let me see if I can make this full. All right, there. Ooh, all right, so that's full screen. You guys see that? Let me go ahead and hit play. Now, so create a 2-minute video.
So you've been named an executor. Here's your roadmap for that critical first month. It's definitely an honor, but let's be real, it's also a huge responsibility. Don't worry, we're going to break it all down into a clear, actionable plan. Okay, first things first. Before you touch anything, you have to understand this one concept. Basically, it's the law. You have to act in the estate's best interest. Always. And if you don't, well, you could be on the hook for any losses. Personally, all right, here's the game plan. This chart maps out your entire first month. Let's break it down. So,
all right, I'll stop there for sake of time. Pretty impressive? Yes, no, maybe so. What do you think? No? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not getting a lot. I guess it takes a lot to impress y'all, but I was very impressed by it, just in the sense that, what was that?
Very impressed.
Very impressed.
It looks good to me. My wife's working on an AI project with Fresenius Medical. I'm gonna show this to her. I think she'll like this.
Yeah. All right. So, well, wait, Damien, there's more. So this here is, again, and you've got lots of options here. Let me get back to the studio. You can create slide decks. You can create all things. Again, at this point, you can't put your branding on it. You can't put, like, there's a lot of things you can't do, okay? But for something quick, or let's say you want to learn something. Let's say, you know, you got a meeting coming up and you're going to be talking to a business owner about deferred compensation strategies, okay? And you're like, shoot, I need to brush up on this. This would be just something you could go ahead and create some sources and learn yourself. You can, so for this video, one of the downsides too on the video, and I'll show you here, because let's say you want to send this video to your client. You can share it with your client. If you share, the way LM works though, if you share this through this, they'll have access to the full, everything you wrote, everything you did, all the sources, everything like that. They literally look at the same screen you're looking at here. So what I would probably do if I'm sharing it, you can download this video. I would download the video. I'd create a YouTube channel or something, you know, and you can actually throw a video to YouTube, make it private, and just share the link. And then you could send that video to someone and say, hey, here, watch this, you know, let me know what you think. All right. I'll show you another example. So this is, again, I used LM to actually go find the sources. Now, let me go back here. Then I said, well, let me do this. So recently there was a really good article on the I Get the Kids This Email about growth strategies, how to grow your firm, and really talking a lot about creating referrals, client referrals. And then if you remember, it was actually about a year ago, I think it was last March, we had Joe Volz on here, and he talked about how he brought in almost 40 million in new assets just through client referrals. And so all I did was I uploaded the art. I just put the link of the article in here. If you go to the Fiduciary Alliance YouTube channel, that call that we had with Joe's on there. We do have, so if you go to YouTube right now, just so you know, what we do is we take the beginning portions of these calls. You just go in, you type in Fiduciary Alliance, and boom, there we are. And our calls, just the beginning portion, are on there. So if you ever want to go back and, see what we talked about or something along those lines, those calls are in there. Okay. So back here, so I just put the link to the call and I put this article in there. And then you can see I was interacting with this chatbot a lot. And I was saying, analyze the 3 growths as well as and update the instructions. And then it was kind of going through and giving me some things here. And then it talked a lot about mapping referral moments for champion clients. And I said, well, let's really flesh that out some more. So you can be refining your sources here. Then what you can do, let's say you get something you really like let's say as you're refining it here in the chat thing and you're like, man, I really like this. Like, I like the way they laid this out. You can actually save it and then make that a source, pull that into your sources, and you can even eliminate some of the other stuff and just say, just use this now. Now let's go create all this really cool output here. Okay, so you can actually refine your stuff in here, then save it as a source and do that. But again, I did the same thing. So like I came over here, I said, well, build me an infographic. There you go. It built, kind of built this infographic for me. I love infographics. And then I did the same thing on the video. I said, let's, build me a video again. And, this one built a 7-minute video on how to build a better growth engine through
Hey,
referrals.
if you're a successful financial advisor, I bet you felt this. That nagging sense.
And by the way, I love the fact I never told it to talk about the emotional side. Like as advisors, we've all been there when there's times when we're growing and then there's times when we're not growing. And we've all been in those times. And I didn't even say it to do that, but that's how it starts this. It totally blew me away that it took that route. But just listen here. Just listen to this for a couple minutes.
Successful financial advisor, I bet you felt this. That nagging sense that growing your firm is just harder than it used to be. It feels like the old playbook just isn't working anymore. Well, today we are going to break down exactly how to build a real, scalable engine for that double-digit growth you're after. We're talking about moving past the daily grind and into a system that actually works for you.
Anyway, I just thought that was like a really neat way to frame it out there. All right. So this is NotebookLM. There's a free tier. You can do, if you just have a personal Google account, you can use it. You can do up to 100 notebooks, I think. Sources up to 50, audio overviews 3 generations per day, chat queries 50 per day. So, you can go to the pro tier. I think if you have a notebook workspace subscription, you get the pro tier free. I don't believe this is included with Gemini if you use Gemini. Yeah, so I know there is some bundled stuff in here you could potentially do, but either way, you've got that. I mean, it's still only just $20 a month, even if you just do the pro tier. So point is you can start using this right now if you just on your personal Gmail account. Okay. All right. Let me stop there. Any thoughts, questions about LM that we've been talking through?
Brian,
Right.
some of the things I think about AI is I think it's a great source for me to be knowledgeable, but I'm a little scared about sharing too much AI to the client because I want them to believe that I'm the knowledge. And maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I'm just old.
No, again, I mean, I think if you take output and just share that with
Right.
the client, they don't know. I wouldn't say, hey, I made this with AI today, check it out. I would never say that. I would just say, hey, based on our conversation we had last week, you were asking some questions about this. I put this together. Take a look at it, and let's just talk. Let's set up a time to talk about it or something like that.
It's so relative to me right now is because 3 weeks ago I had a client die the next day after we met. And so now his brother is working closely with me about being the executor and that kind of thing. So this is very good information now. So
yeah. Excellent. Yeah. I mean, the reality is we do get questions all the time that we're not, let's just be honest, we're not. And what we normally did in the past is we just do a Google search and we start clicking through Google trying to find answers. And I'm just telling you, well, there's a better way. It's this, like research this, really interact with it, really hone down your sources, and then you've got some options just to create some really simple, easy output. Okay. Now, let me put the compliance hat on. If you're going to create something from here and put it on your website, or you're going to put it out to the public, it will need to be approved by compliance. If you're going to send this just to a client, one particular client, and say, look at this, then you do not I mean, that's just like you typing out an email to somebody with an answer on it. Okay. Are we clear on that? Does that make sense? All right. I got one more AI thing. I got 6 minutes here left to show you. This won't take long. So I want to talk to you about headshots. Now, here at Parallel, we've got a really good photographer here locally. He comes in a couple times a year, does our headshots for us, does a great job. But maybe you're just in a situation where, you don't want to deal with that or pay that kind of money. But it's important. I can tell you right now, having a financial service website for, we've had it now for coming up on 13 years. The number one page that gets clicked is the team page with your picture on it. But I mean, more than anything, it's really important that you have a good picture of yourself and of your team or whatever you have on there. But maybe you don't have the ability, or maybe you're just, a solo firm or whatever. Well, there's an app out there called Headshot Pro. And so recently, and when I say recently, just, the past few days, I came into the office. Actually, Susan took these 3 pictures of me standing in front of the wall. And couple me smiling, and just that was it. And then you go in here, and by the way, this costs, I think it's $39 or something like that. I think they have 3 packages. I got the middle package, $39. You upload your photos, and you start answering a lot of, it starts asking you, like, you pick your backgrounds, it's got like, I don't know, 40 different backgrounds. We always take our pictures out in front of the building here. So it's got like a brick background. And then, we usually wear jackets. Well, most of us do. Wink, wink. He knows who we're making fun of. There you go, Jonathan. I see you smiling. All right. And little internal joke here. But, just a button down and a jacket. And then, so I put it in, and then these were so this is the kind of the source material. And then these are just some options here that it gave me. Some of these, I'm like, these don't even look like me. Now, this is the first round, because what it then does is you can kind of click through here, and you can be like, I don't like these. You can pick your keepers, and then it'll reiterate on the ones you liked, and it'll start iterating down and getting you some better ones. But the point is, if you don't have a headshot for $39 and someone taking a few pictures of you, with a kind of a clear background, you can get a nice headshot. All right. So any about that? Excellent. All right. All right. Well, we are a little ahead of schedule here, so that is good. If you have any other questions about any of this AI stuff or NotebookLM, please ping me, shoot me a message. But I just want to reiterate on the AI stuff is that I want to reiterate not what the media is talking about. They're coming for your jobs. They're coming for you. They're coming to take these things away from you. And it creates all this fear and uncertainty. What I want to reiterate is it's here to help you, and embrace it, dive into it, spend time with it, put time on your calendar each and every week. All right. And if you're just like, hey, Brian, I know I need to do that. Can you help me out, or just give me a game plan, or like, where do I need to start, or what do I need to focus on, or what do I need to do? Just give me some stuff. I'm happy to do that with you and just kind of show you some things there. Okay. All right. Now we're